DJB, welcome to Photo Critic TV, episode number 6. If you want to get your photographs reviewed, just jump on to www.photocritictv.com, click on click to submit, and I'll review your photograph on camera online, like we're doing right now. You can look at my portfolio at www.djbworldphotography.com. Alright, let's get into it. The first one for episode 6 is from Anne. Hi Anne. First photograph. Let's have a look. Anne is photographing with a Canon 550D. This was taken with a Sigma 10. She's written 10 to 200mm, but that lens doesn't actually exist. I assume she means 10 to 20 wide angle. And this is a really nice photograph. This is taken of Hosier Lane in Melbourne. I like the symmetry that you've used here. You've got that central vent dividing the left and right hand sides nicely. The scenery is kind of cool, very urban and grungy. I can't really think of anything bad to say about this. The lighting is also very nice. Maybe I would warm up the photograph a little bit. It looks a little bit like it has a bit of a bluey cast on it. Have a look at the white balance. Maybe shift that to the right a bit to warm it up. But apart from that, it's a nice little scene you've captured there, and I like the fact that it's actually looking down on it. It's definitely an interesting perspective, so thank you for that. And I have another one from yourself. This is, let's have a look, what have you written here? Shot in colour. So this photograph was shot in colour that enhanced the contrast and changed to black and white. And very cool photograph here. The expression, I think, is definitely the best thing about it. Good choice with the black and white. Low depth of field. I'm not sure what sort of lens you used. Maybe a 50mm, maybe 1.8 f-stop. But just a very cool photograph. The girl there, she looks happy, natural, very unposed, and in the moment. So that's a really nice photograph. I can't actually think of anything bad to say about that. There's no distractions. The background's nice and blurred out. The subject looks happy, natural. The lighting is very natural as well. Good photograph. Thanks for that, Anne. The next one from Chris. Chris is shooting with a Canon 500D. What lens? We don't really know. But this time, I'm going to Aaron. OTB on photograph 3, Aaron. What's news? What's been happening?
Nothing.
How's your week been?
It's okay.
Okay. Excellent. You ready for this? About 7 seconds off the bat. OTB photograph 3, Aaron, beyond the frame. Here we go.
Don't like carnivals.
He doesn't like carnivals. Thanks, so that's some really valuable feedback there, Aaron. Alright, so let's get on with this one. Chris has taken this photograph at Luna Park in Melbourne, and this was actually also taken on one of the photography walks. Chris, this is a really cool photograph. It looks like you've put this on a tripod, because you've captured some nice motion blur there with the ride, the Enterprise, or whatever that ride's called. I think it's called the Enterprise. There's a couple of things that I would say just that are a little bit distracting, but I can understand this would be quite difficult to remove these distractions in this case. The bottom right hand corner, there's a trash bin. That would have been a little bit easier to kind of frame out a bit, maybe move forward, zoom in, or just move in front of the bin. But that red building on the left there with the advertising for Calippo and Paddle Pop is also a little bit distracting. So the subject here is the ride. I think I don't know how you would have gotten rid of this red building so easily. Maybe move to the right a little bit more, or just kind of walked around to try and find a little bit of a different perspective. But I like the photograph. The motion blur looks really cool, adds some energy to the photograph. Lighting is nice. The exposure is fine. Really nice shot, Chris. I'd be interested to know how you actually did that, whether that was handheld or you put that on a tripod and used a long shutter speed. But thank you for submitting that one. And Aaron, thanks for your feedback. Thanks.
Welcome.
I'm sure Chris will take that on board. The next one from Chris is, I love this photograph, Chris. Love it. Let's see, where does it say? Photo 2, Jester as the rain clouds roll in. This is really beautiful. It looks like, I don't know whether you have actually taken this photograph through the glass at the airport, but it doesn't look like it. It actually looks as though you're standing outside with the plane. This photograph is very dramatic. The plane is massive. You get a sense of its size from the person. Where is the person? Yeah, from the person standing in front of it and the little boxes or whatever that are below it. And also the clouds are very dramatic. Definitely a good choice of the black and white again. I really like this photograph, Chris. I'm trying to think of something, some area where you could have improved. Maybe the way that you've cropped it and sent it to me, it looks as though the photograph is not directly dead center. It's actually a tiny bit to the right. So if it were dead center and you would have had some really beautiful symmetry going on there as well. Maybe there was something on the right or the left hand side that you were trying to crop out, which is fine. But I don't know, that's the only thing I can think of, but thank you very much. Chris, the next one is from Susan Pettigrew. Susan is shooting with a Canon 500D, 55 to 200 lens, taken at Churchill Island. Don't know where that is. Maybe Churchill? Where do you think that is, Aaron? Off the top of your head. Australia? What country? Take a stab.
Tasmania.
It's not a country.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so we're telling you that this photograph was taken in Tasmania. So, Susan? Let's go with Susie. Susie, I would say, is, first of all, if you're just trying to capture the animal's, maybe that's a cow, the animal's head, I would have moved it to the right or the left more in this photograph. You've kind of placed the head in the center of the photograph and there's not enough on the left or right to balance it out to give a nice amount of I was going to say synergy, I don't know why I was thinking of that word, symmetry. So have a think about the composition and the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is divide the viewfinder or the photograph up into a tic-tac-toe-like grid and place the points of interest on the third line. So in this case, this is good because you place the eyes on the top third line roughly, which is fine, but the actual placement of the head, I would have moved that to the left or the right a little bit more. But what I'm thinking is I probably just would have wanted to see a little bit more of the cow and its environment. It's quite a close-up shot here, but maybe zoomed out a little bit and so we could see a bit more. But that's about it, Susan, that's all I can think of. The lighting is nice, so I always say I'm done and then I think of something else. The lighting is nice, there's no harsh white light or anything like that. Looks like it was a cloudy kind of day, so the light was quite filtered. But yeah, just have a look at your composition. So that's it. That is it for episode 6. Thank you for watching, everybody. Don't forget, go to www.photocritictv.com to submit your photos, and I shall catch you next time.